Hi, this is Queen Pearl. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to do a long-awaited video. Everybody keeps asking me about my curly hair routine, and although I'd love to show you guys on my own hair, I don't have the time or the space to set up, the equipment or the patience, because it takes me a lot longer to do my hair versus me showing you how to do it on Tiffany's hair. So Tiffany's going to be our model today. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do on my hair on Tiffany's hair. Now, disclaimer, I am no way a expert or what have you. I started my curly hair journey about a year now, a little over a year. So I'll probably insert my before and after pictures where I started, where I'm at now. Well, you can see where I'm at now, but my hair was very dry, very frizzy. I had no heat damage, but it just wasn't healthy. It wasn't at its fullest potential. So, enough rambling, let me get on with the video. Now, what I did with her is I washed her hair, conditioned her hair, detangled her hair with the conditioner aside, and then I did a mask. Now, I mask once a week. I switch off where I do protein one week and I do moisturizing mask the following week, and vice versa. Now, the products I use are all sulfate, paraben, silicone free, alcohol free. If you guys know about the CG method, the curly girl method, then you guys know. If you don't, quickly Google it, find out what it's about. So I follow the curly girl method to an extent as far as the products that I use on my hair and the ingredients I kind of steer clear of. Okay, moving on. So I'm gonna turn Tiffany this way. I already sectioned off her hair. So I sectioned off the top and the two sides just because I would have sectioned it with myself, just two sections and then this third one up top. Now, I work on the bottom, work my way up. Now, I always section off the top, kind of like two parts on each side. So throughout the week, if I want to flip my hair to one side or the other, depending on how it dried, I can do so. So I could also part in the middle, but I have a really long face and a large forehead. So parting in the middle is not so visually appealing to me on my face, so I prefer doing a side part, but I can flip from each side if I want to, because I styled and dried it with these two parts already, but it's not going to stay that way. It just gives you the option to do so, to flip your hair throughout the week. More versatility. Now, after doing so, your best friend is always going to be water. A lot of water. If your hair is not dripping and soaking wet, you're not doing it right. I mean, people have that. This is my method, and I feel like I get a lot less frizz, more definition, and I get better curl clumps instead of like stringy curl pieces when my hair is soaking wet. That's the first thing we're gonna do, even though my hair is already wet. As you can see, it's not as wet as I would like. So what you want is when it's like dripping and you like kind of press the hair together, you hear like a squishing sound. So that's what you want to hear. I don't know if you can hear her, because obviously she's a doll, she's a mannequin, but this is human hair, so we'll see if you hear that sound. But basically in your own hair, that's what you want to listen out for, that squishing, squelching sound. Still need more. And you keep going and going. Gonna brush it through once more. Now, I already used a leave-in conditioner, even though, because whenever I come out the shower, I spritz some leave-in conditioner. The one I'm using today and that I have in my hair right now is a Curl Talk leave-in conditioner. A little bit more, just a little bit more for good measure. more water. And as you can see, her hair is starting to look a lot less stringy. And if I pick up like a chunk of it, you see how there's like 2 curl clumps already forming? Now, mind you, her curl pattern is a lot looser than mine. This is more like a 2C curl pattern. I'm more like a 3B. So my curl pattern is tighter, so you're gonna see the curls more like springy on mine versus hers. Hers is gonna be a little bit more looser. Hers is more like a curly wavy type, but we'll see what it's like when we're actually all done. Let me see if you guys can hear the squelching. You hear that? I hope you guys can hear that, but that's the sound we want to hear. That's how you know there's enough water in your hair to style. So this is what I used for this week's wash and go. I used the Not Your Mother's Naturals Tahitian Gardenia Flower Mango Butter Curl Defining Combing Cream. I love this stuff. It's nice and moisturizing as well. So normally when I use a protein mask, I use like a moisturizing curl cream. And when I use a moisturizing mask, I use a curl cream that's got protein in it. So I kind of make sure I balance my moisture and protein products so I don't get a moisture overload or protein overload. So I did 2 pumps, the curl cream, and I'm kind of just like raking it through her hair as I would do my own. Now the way you can tell normally if you don't like use too much product or too little product is if you were to take the amount of hair you have and kind of like grab it with your finger. You see the diameter of how much hair you grab? That's kind of how much product you want in the palm of your hand when you're working on that section of hair. So it's just rule of thumb. I mean, some people use more, some people use less. Some people's hair is just extra thirsty or in need of more product to be, you know, tamed or whatnot. But if you guys don't know like how to start, I would start by doing that. So once this is all raked through, then I'll take my brush, I'll brush it once more just to kind of evenly distribute the product. And then I don't have a Demon brush, I want one, but the brush I'm going to use is kind of comparable to a Demon brush. It looks like the Demon brush has the same amount of like rows as the Demon brush does. So I got the pattern brush from Tracy Ellis Ross's line. She came with a whole curly line. So this is pretty much what the Demon brush looks like. See those teeth? This is going to give you curls definition. So now from here, I kind of will take about so much. And I'm just going to brush it through a couple of times. Whoa, stay still, Tiffany. And this is also going to help with those curl clumps. I'm going to twist it a little bit with my wrist and then pull down. And then they're going to give it like a little tiny shake. Just so, I don't know if you guys can see the curls coming out. That's one side done. Then we're going to take another section of hair and we're going to follow suit kind of all the way throughout Tiffany's head. Go. Now I always like to brush away from the scalp so that way your hair kind of doesn't like dry flat and dry to the scalp, so that way, you know, you don't have a lack of volume. Now when you shake, you kind of like encourage the little curl families, as you will. And this is the last section down here. My hair is drying super quick. Okay. From this point, I kind of like scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. See if we could. Not as much. We're losing that squelching sound. I'm just getting a little bit more water, or a lot. And again, we're just gonna there we go. And just scrunch, scrunch, more scrunching. Now, if you see any frizz while it's wet, you want to assess it now before you're done styling, because if it's frizzy while it's wet, it's gonna be frizzy when it's dry. So I'm pretty satisfied with the result. We're gonna move on to the next section. This is what you don't want to do. Brushing downward, because it's flat to her head. So we don't want that. We want volume. The bigger the hair, the harder they stare. If you guys know where that saying is from, comment down below. Okay, it's Tiffany a little too wobbly for me. Okay. Again, section by section. And twist. Look at that. Look at how nice. Beautiful. To again, water. Mine this was filled to the top. How much I used already. When I'm doing my daughter's hair, she's mixed, so she has super curly hair, but super, super thick. Her puff pattern is more like a 3C, but super, super, super thick. And I kid you not, this whole water bottle is like done by the time I'm done styling and curling her hair. Sometimes I have to like refill it again. But yeah. And it's all nice and wet. Go in, detangle again. You'll notice curly hair gets tangled way more than straight hair. Or at least I would argue that. Now, Not Your Mother's has multiple brands within their brands. So the Not Your Mother's Natural and the Curl Talk line are all A-okay, wonderful. However, the regular Not Your Mother's products and the ones that's not Curl Talk, like they'll have a primarily white bottle. It looks like this, and then like some type of color up top. Those are a no-no. Those contain sulfates and silicones and those bad stuff you want to stay away from. But they're fully colored bottles, or the one that specifically says Curl Talk line, you know, from the Curl Talk line, are all great. So those are your products that don't contain sulfates, parabens, and silicones. Okay, I'm gonna brush this through. If you guys are interested in searching for a bottle like this, I got mine from Ulta. It's by Tangle Teaser. Pattern also has one. And you could get it very cheap on Amazon. You just gotta search continuous mist spray. Like, look how fine this mist is. Oh, I love it. And if you keep spraying, you could just like let it go and just do its thing. I assure you, I'm not this aggressive with my own hair. My kids would probably argue when I brush their hair I'm this aggressive, but I'm really not. Don't listen to them. Alright, and then for this top piece, I kind of section it into 2 or 3 sections. So I'm leaving conditioner. Now with the top section, I'm gonna brush upward and to the back. Twist, pull upward, and let it fall behind. I thought this would be a lot quicker. Looks like it's taking me almost as much time doing her hair as it does my own. Maybe because I do a lot of sections, but to me, that's kind of when I have the best result, because then I feel like every single one of my hairs is coated with products. So I have less chance of developing frizz, and I get more definition, and it lasts me the whole week. And I'm gonna tell you guys how I make my hair last the whole week without really touching it much or manipulating it much. I'm just gonna zhuzh her hair a little bit to kind of find that natural middle parting. Since I already did those 2 side parts and I styled it, her hair with those 2 side parts, it's still there just underneath here. But trust me, Star, because I just say I'm doing with her, I'm doing with my hair. So I find my middle, but as you can see, I still, if I flip to one side, I had the part on this side, I flip to the other side, I had the part on this side. I prefer my hair on this side more. I don't know why, I just prefer it on my right hand side. So, okay. The last and final step. We're gonna spritz through real lightly once more with some water. And we're going to want to preserve this style. So now, I don't know about you guys, but I always pair my curling cream with a gel. So I actually use this a lot on my daughter, or I'll use the Not Your Mother's gel for myself. But for my daughter, this, like, she needs this stuff. But for argument's sake, I'm running low on my Curl Talk Not Your Mother's gel, so we're just gonna use this, but this serves the same purpose. I'm gonna take a little bit of this, kind of like, I'm gonna say like this much for her whole head, and we're going to distribute that, rub it in your hands, and from the bottom up, we're gonna just scrunch the gel in. You could lightly, you know, like tap it around your areas or whatnot. So normally I would like to do this with my head flipped upside down, but it's not that easy to do in this position. But I encourage you guys to flip your hair upside down while doing this. It'll also help with getting volume, so that way, you know, anything off the head as much as possible is gonna work to your advantage. So that way, you know, you also don't get like flat roots. As you can see, I don't use a towel at all. Microfiber towel, regulatory cloth towel, which is not good to use on your hair. The microfiber is good. You can use a cotton t-shirt. I prefer keeping my hair wet. Sometimes if it's like really wet, I feel like, oh my god, like I need to dry my hair. a lot sooner, I will scrunch it out with a cotton t-shirt. But again, I will gently go from the bottom and scoop up like I would with my hands. And then I remove some of the excess moisture so that way the drying time is sped up a bit. So once I'm done here, there are 3 fan settings and 3 heat settings. I'm gonna put the lowest heat because hello, we don't like heat damage. But the Dyson doesn't give you heat damage. Okay, I could ramble on and on and on about the Dyson, but that's not what you're here for. Number 1 heat setting and number 3 for the fan speed. And I'm going to hover diffuse until her roots are completely dry. Now with me, I would flip upside down and I would start from like the nape of my neck, and then I would flip all my hair to one side and I would diffuse like that, still hovering, not touching my hair. Flip to the other side, do the same thing, and like tilt my head back so my hair is still off of my scalp. Diffuse like that. And then once I feel like my roots are 100% dry, then I will start from the bottom and I will gently go up. But what you guys will notice is a slight cast from the gel. So like your curls will already have a chance to have settled, and you won't have your hair blowing in all different directions and creating all that frizz, which is why you want to diffuse, hover diffuse, roots first, then the length of your hair. And then you just gently go like that all around. Try not to touch your hair at all. The more you touch your hair, the more frizz you will create. And if you absolutely have to do so very, very gently and very cautiously. Okay, I'm gonna normally what I would do is I would just flip my whole body forward. And if it doesn't work the first time, I will just go up and I will flip again. Of course, not that aggressively, but her hair is not cooperating right now. And then just dry the nape of your neck. So for video sake purposes and for my sanity, I'm just gonna hold it like this. This is normally how I would be though, honestly, with my head flipped forward and with the blow dryer just covering over my head until like the back of my neck area would be pretty much dry. I don't stay still, kind of just, I move a little bit so that the hair doesn't stay stuck in one spot and doesn't dry that way. And then I would tilt to one side, kind of like this. Now her roots are all dry. Now here is where I would take the hair and, oh, hang on. And start going upward. See if you guys can see. Actually, I would also lower the fan speed down to the medium setting and keep the heat on low setting. Now, as it's drying and it's forming that cast, I can touch it more without really messing it up or breaking up those curl clumps. Okay, I'm gonna assess her hair. Make sure that everything is dry. Okay, there's still a couple of damp areas. So I'm gonna pass through it real quick. I could put the speed all the way up again because since her hair is pretty much 90% dry, I can put the speed all the way up without disrupting her curl pattern while her hair flying in all different directions. So that's what I'm gonna do to speed up the drying process. Okay, it's pretty much dry. All right. Now from here, I already told you guys her curl pattern is much more looser than mine. So if I'd have done, show you guys on my hair, this is what it turns out, this curly. But my hair still ends up with that crunchy cast. So to break it, I either use argan oil. This is from Shea Moisture, 100% argan oil. Do about 2 pumps, mix it in my hands, and I scrunch out the crunch. Or my new favorite, it's very pricey though. This is only 10 bucks. I get it from Ulta. This one is, I think, 34 bucks. I mean, it's by Curlsmith. Their brand in general, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just amazing. If you want like the Versace of hair products, you want Curlsmith. So I'll take just a little kind of like a little knuckleful, and I'll do the same thing, and then I'll scrunch out the cast. But since she's expensive, I'm not gonna use this on my doll. So sorry, Tiffany, you're getting argan oil. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with argan oil, but it's just less expensive. It's dripping everywhere. So kind of coat my hands, and I just scrunch out whatever cast is left from the gel. And this is also gonna help fluffen out those curls a bit, make them nice and juicy, and it's also gonna add extra shine, which is nice. And then I will take my fingers and kind of like go in at the root and just shake whatever curls are kind of stuck to the scalp. So I'll go like that. I'll zhuzh it up some more. Only at the root. You don't want to break up those curl clumps you work so hard to get. There you go. And it just leaves your hair so nice and bouncy. And I will just do that until the majority of all the gel cast is gone, and it leaves your hair nice and soft. And I mean, you can even tell I use gel on my hair. Let's take a curl. Look, does this look crunchy to you? They look nice, beautiful, fluffy, springy, and full. Like, can we just take a minute? And this is day 2 hair, guys. I styled my hair yesterday and I slept on this. Now, here's where I show you guys how to preserve your hair. Now after doing all that work, I'm trying to make my curls last as long as possible. So for me, I'm able to push out a full week. What I do is I take nice satin or silk scrunchie. I have satin right here because least expensive. I mean, yes, least expensive. And I will just take all my hair, pull it for like flip my head forward to make all my hair meet up to the top of my head. And I will do an extremely high but extremely loose ponytail. Now, for those of you who don't have enough length to gather all your hair in a ponytail, don't worry, I got you. You take 2 scrunchies. You take one, sectioning off the top half of your hair to do a high pony, or in the curly world we call it a pineapple because it looks like the top of a pineapple. And oh, can we just look, even though she's got loose wavy curls, it still came out pretty. And look, like this routine worked on my hair and her hair. We have 2 different curl patterns. Anyway, you right here, and then you grab another ponytail and you kind of do it loosely over here in the back. But if you have enough length to fit all your hair, I encourage you to do so. It also helps with the volume when you wake up in the morning and you shake your hair out. Since all your hair is gathered on top of your head, it gives you more volume. And who doesn't love more volume? I do. So then you just loosely, very loosely, because you don't want to stretch out those curls you made. So very loosely. I will only take it and wrap it through once. That's how loose you want this ponytail, because you don't want to restrict any of your curls. And you don't want to, squish them or anything. So normally my ponytail's like up here. Hers is, I'm in an awkward position, so it's not all the way up here, but you guys get the idea. And I will sleep with my bonnet. So I don't care. I go to bed looking like a viejita because I wake up looking like a Anyways, if you don't know, viejita is like an old lady. I put this on. When I wake up, I take off my bonnet. I will gently slide this out. And since it's satin, it just slides out so it doesn't grab your hair, nick your hair, or cause frizz. And then I will take my fingers to my roots and I will just shake it out. And the hair will be popping. That's it. It's done. But on those very occasional, like day 4-ish hair, sometimes 3, when it starts to get a little, what's what I'm looking for, like not as defined, I will spritz my hair a little bit water, not too much, just a little bit, and I will kind of reactivate the product that's already in my hair with the water, and I will scrunch in. Hang on, I got it right here, you guys. This Not Your Mother's Curl Talk Refreshing Curl Foam. And this is like very light, so it's not gonna weigh your hair down. I'm running out. I got a backup bottle. But it's literally like, look at how light this is. It's like light and airy. So it's not gonna weigh your hair down, and it's not gonna add too much product to the product you already have in your hair. I will go like that, it pretty much emulsifies, and I will go like that. And again, I'll take it and look, I'm just gonna show you without rubbing in my hands. Look at how quickly it's gonna dissolve in her hair, watch. So if I were to just scrunch it in as I would my own hair, look at that, all scrunched out. And it just reawakens the curls and kind of makes them back to a much less frizzy state. And that's what we want. We don't want frizzy curls. We want defined curls. But we don't want to surrender our volume. So that's a good product to refresh with because it's light, it's airy, and it's not going to weigh down your hair. And they also have one from Curl Talk that, not Curl Talk, Curlsmith, that's marketed as a reactivator spray. that stuff is also bomb too, but it's also 27, 37, whatever bucks. It's expensive. So this only costs about, I think, $8, and it lasts a while. It lasts me a good maybe 3 months, I think. But I do my hair once a week, every week, religiously, so it lasts a while. And I don't only use this on my hair, I use this on my daughter's hair too. So for it to last like about 3 months, it's very good value. And on top of that, Ulta's always doing sales on curls. Why do I keep saying curls? On Not Your Mother's products, where it's either buy one get one free or buy one get one half off. So you're really able to stock up. Now, remember those 2 parts we did on the side of her hair? Now, if I wanted to, normally I just shake to one side and the part is already there, but I can't really do this on her. That part we created on the side, it's there. So she can wear her hair to one side or the other. And it still looks nice and looks more voluminous on one side. Makes your hair look a little bit bigger and fuller. So I like that. But we have versatility now because we made those 2 parts in the very beginning when we styled our hair. And there you go. Now, I'll probably make a follow-up video of curly girl must-haves. So stay tuned and have a good one.